global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. Fairly recently, Nigeria was thrown into mourning when they lost one of their finest. I'm talking about Tolulope Arotile's death, who a lot of Nigerians are beginning to question the circumstances of her death. She's quite young, very promising, one of the finest naval officers, I must say. And she's not just a naval officer, she's a combatant one. And she has been doing a lot of strides for Nigeria, especially in the issues of Boko Boys. But let's find out what Gani Adams said concerning the situation as the parents and siblings of Tolulope is saying some of the siblings are beginning to question the circumstances surrounding her death, and as well Gani Adams is also lending a voice. Let's go straight into the news of the day. Say Araona Kankanfo of Yoruba land, Iba Gani Abiodun Ige Adams, has urged the federal government to properly investigate the death of the Nigerian's first female combat helicopter pilot. We're talking about Tolulope Arotile, saying the death was suspicious. Adams, in a statement by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Aderemi, described the late Arotile's death as a personal loss, especially to the Yorubas, not just only to the Yorubas, to Nigeria as a whole. Honestly, as a female, I respect that young lady so much. When I mean so much, she has a 100 thumbs up from me. But it's rather sad that they took her away, or she died very young, untimely, I must say, because she's just about starting the career. She's in fact at the prime of her career. But let's continue, with the news. Now, one further say, while condoling with the family of the deceased, Adams also urged the international community, the United Nations, European nation, United States, and Britain to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of the young and promising girl. Nigeria has lost one of its best brains in the military in such a suspicious circumstances. The late Tolulope Arotile's short span in life was remarkable, with a track record of being the very first female combat helicopter pilot. The best we can do as a nation is to get to the root of the circumstances culminating in her death. As far as I'm concerned, he still continued, reports of her death still remain suspicious to me because her death has raised many questions. How much or how would such a promising young girl be killed by a reversing car within the premises of the barrack? Who drove the car? What was his or her name? Where was the suspected killer at the moment? And what is the present situation? We would like to know, and that is why I'm charging the international community to investigate and look into the circumstances surrounding her death. Adams, however, said the death of such a promising young girl has exposed the nation as a country that never values the lives of its citizens, especially the best and exceptional citizens. I think an exception to believe the story surrounding her gruesome murder. Her achievement speaks volumes, and many in the system may see her rising profile as a threat to the establishment, mostly with her passion towards ending the threat of the dreaded Boko Boys infiltrating the northwest and the rest of the country. I feel the pain of a father whose daughter's shining light went dim unexpectedly, the sadness of losing a promising girl like Tolulope was eternal to her family because of her talents and dedication to her duty. So it should not go the usual way, where our best brains died without any investigation being carried out. Tolu's father said he spoke with his daughter by 1 p.m. and by 5 p.m. a few hours later, she was reportedly killed by a reversing car and was in the mortuary. That story needs to be investigated because her case is one out of the many deaths of great Nigerians that made positive impact towards making Nigeria great. And it is one of the reasons people of excellent and exceptional brains find it very difficult to serve this country, and they are all over the world doing great. That's what one or two persons were even saying. That if she had decided to probably stay in South Africa and become a South African citizen, and by now she probably should still be alive. Another person was saying, why not she had migrated to United Kingdom or even United States and become one of their combat helicopter fighters. Today she would have been doing very good with her brains. But she decided, no, I need to come home. I need to do my bit. Well, she's no more as we speak. But let's continue with the news. He said, I have traveled across. That's Gani Adams still talking. He said, I have traveled across the world and I see many Nigerians doing wonderfully well in their respective disciplines. But they always feel reluctant to come back home because of the way we treat our best brains. I think this is too bad for the development of our nation. More so, I share in the grief of the family as I pray God to give the family the fortitude to bear the loss. He said, this is rather sad, I must say, but then let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this because Nigerians have taken to their social media handle to react. When she died, a lot of persons, came out. I was among the very few, though I didn't bring it online, but I felt very pained because this is so rare in Nigeria, really. Our best brains, we all get to know. Most of them are actually not in this country. We know that. Not because they don't want to be, but because circumstances surrounding the insecurity issues in Nigeria won't allow most of them to come home. Those who are even at home want to run out. And now this one had decided to give her very best. It just shows red flag to those who are in diaspora, who are really desiring to come home. With this news, I'm sure some of them will change their mind and say, no. I don't want to be the sacrificial lamb. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this because some persons have started talking. This one here said, they said she just said, this one here, I'm taking one respondent here. He said, they said she just arrived from a helicopter mission against bandits. And we remember a soldier said he was almost murdered by his Fulani soldiers because he was fighting. So does it mean after landing her helicopter at 1 p.m. she didn't go for debriefing? She just started walking on the barrack road, giving her nameless friend the time to hit her with a car. The Air Force should name the friend ASAP as soon as possible. Okay, that's one person talking his or her view there. This one here say, of course it does, but honestly, I don't like believing in conspiracy theories. I hope they launch an investigation into it. Okay. This one here is saying, I share the same view with this man, because how can they tell us that her ex-classmate saw her while she was on her way to Mami Market to make some photocopies and they decided to reverse to pick her up, and in the process she was knocked down? This one here say, what happened to honking to draw her attention or calling her mobile phone or even shouting her name the Nigerian way? This one here is saying, who no sin Fulani use her? I will skip that. This one here is saying, well, the brainless bombing, I don't know what this one is trying to write. This one here is saying, I'm beginning to think this Gani Adams is not, his brain is wonderful. He should have just let the story die down. Okay, this one here says she fulfilled her dream of becoming a pilot before she met her untimely death. May her soul continue to rest in peace. To the living, what would you be remembered for when you die? That's a good question, though. This one here is saying, charging which international community to investigate which case? What is your police for? Or even the Air Force she's working for safe? You are calling the international body to come and search for you. What are their duties? Well, so many things happen in Nigeria. I guess it's now a trend. When Nigerians feel helpless, they call on the international body to international community to look into the case. Well, this is how much we can take, but generally everybody, this on the social media page, everybody seems to be uncomfortable. Most of them are agreeing to what Gani Adams is saying, but I'll take this last one. This one has a wise I agree with the embolder, which is accident can happen anytime, anywhere. This one is saying, it seems like the position of Ara Ona Kakafo is making Gani Adams reason from a friend has dislocation inside his room while trying to pick something on top of his cupboard. Accidents can happen anytime, anywhere. What he's trying to say in this statement is, it doesn't matter what or where she is, accident can actually happen even in your living room. So that the fact that there was a reverse car that knocked her out does not mean that it was pre-planned or was a murder case. But this person has replied that statement. He said, whilst I agree with what you said that accidents can happen anywhere and anytime, Gani Adams has raised silent questions. The friend has no name. Is he or she a ghost? It's not just enough to to release a press statement that she died just like that. Firstly, they said she died in an accident in the barracks, sustaining injuries to her head. Next thing is one ex-schoolmate that reversed and got her killed. Why the mystery? Why are things shrouded in secrecy? Moreover, it's now a third-degree murder manslaughter case, so it's not a case of it's not a case that can or should be swept under the carpet. But that's how much we can take. All of them are generally saying the same thing. Let's meet in the comment section. Don't also forget to like, share.